Hey, what's going on everybody? The Seer here, and we have another round of Cosmic Crucible battles for you. We have 2 weeks left to go before the season finishes up, so we're trying to get in the best position possible before the season ends. Now, quick reminder, if you haven't done so, please remember to subscribe to the channel. As soon as the new details come out for those Cosmic Crucible rules, I'm going to put out a defense options video guide for you guys. That way you can try to pick and choose what your best defense option should be for your roster. Without further ado, let's get into it. My opponent, Iron Rello, is about 115 million TCPs. This is going to be about a 30 million punch up for me, so it's not as big as the one I did last week, but it's still a pretty big punch up. It doesn't look like he has Mephisto yet, but let's go ahead, check out the defenses, and see what we're dealing with. For Stage 1, they have the full Infinity Watch team. Stage 2, they have the Mercs for money with Spider-Man Noir. Stage 3, the 3-piece X-Treme X-Men with Rogue and Dorm. Stage 4, the Spider Society with Captain America Sam. Stage 5, Superior 6 with Black Knight. And Stage 6, Black Order with Quicksilver. For Stage 1, I'm going to use my Eternals Tangled Web Spider-Man Big Time. I know I use this one a lot, but it's just very reliable. I know what I'm doing on this team, and it doesn't really have much room for error for the way that I play this. The Spider-Man Big Time is going to go first. We're going to target the Gamora and use the special that's going to remove that revive once from Gamora and Nebula. For 2099, we're going to target the Nebula and use the ultimate that's going to do a nice hit to everybody. For Spider-Weaver, we're just going to use that ultimate so we get the charges up on her. Now that Icarus is up, we're going to use that ultimate and we do get the double tap, so Gamora and Nebula are both killed. Cersei's going to use that ultimate on Moondragon so we can do a nice turn meter rewind and we get the vulnerable on her. For 2099, we're going to target the Adam Warlock and use the special so we can get an ability block on him. And for Spider-Weaver, we're going to try to get the perma-kill on the Moondragon. So we're going to use that basic. The ISO attack comes in, however she did end up living. So Icarus is going to use the special that calls the assist in for Cersei and we do get the kill. Cersei's going to use the special on Phyla-Vell so we can get the stun on her. And Spider-Man Big Time is going to finish that off with the basic. Now we just have to worry about the Adam Warlock. This was very quick and very smooth. For Stage 2, I'm going to use my Masters of Evil with Echo. Now this really depends on the size of the Old Man Logan and the size of your Kang, because you will have to rely on those two, along with Titania getting the crit on Old Man Logan, so that way you can get the vulnerable on him. The Spider-Man Noir will be going first and he uses his ultimate, which is perfectly normal. Echo's there to negate the assist from the Old Man Logan. Titania goes next, we end up doing that ultimate into the Old Man Logan and we do get the crit. Kang does the basic, however, that does not kill him. So right now at this point in time, my Kang is 3 diamond and he's 1 gear piece away from being gear tier 19. So he's not gear tier 19 at this time. The Old Man Logan is a 5 red, 7 yellow, so that was just out of reach as far as the punch up on that. So we're gonna have to back out and go back in. Since that didn't work, we did have to make some alterations to our attack. So we're gonna have to use our Apocalypse with 3 of the Horsemen and Echo here instead, and we're gonna have to alter one of our other attacks that we already planned out. So Spider-Man Noir goes first again. He uses the ultimate into the Red Hulk. I do make a misplay here. For the Memorial of Fate, I end up doing the basic instead of the ultimate. If you do the ultimate, you actually get the ability block on the Old Man Logan. Red Hulk ends up doing the special, so we do remove that revive once from the Spider-Man Noir. For Apocalypse's turn, we target the Deadpool and we use the ultimate. We get the ISO hit on the Deadpool and we did not push the Panda Pool. So we're going to target the Old Man Logan and do the Empowered Punch. The Archangel Ping ends up taking out the Dakin. Archangel's up next, we use the special. We end up taking out the Spider-Man Noir. And the Archangel Ping takes out the Deadpool. Now we have a very easy cleanup on the Panda Pool. For stage 3, I'm going to use the Superior 6, but I'm also adding in Vulture and Mysterio. That way I can make sure they don't get the immunities or the speed up. Also, Mysterio does great as far as the control goes. Vulture will be going first here. We're going to target the Nightcrawler and use the special. That way we can try to put a slow on the Rogue to try to delay her from using her special on us. For Green Goblin Classic, we're going to target the Dorm and use the ultimate for a nice turn meter rewind. Kraven's up. We're going to target the Forge and we're going to use that special to get the ability block on him. For Doc Ock, we're going to use that special to get the Shocker out on the field. Now that Mysterio's up, we're going to target that Rogue and use the special so we can get an ability block on her and blinds on everybody else. The pings from Green Goblin Classic did end up taking out the Dorm, so that is one threat out of the way. Chakras up, we're going to use that special that's going to get offense up on everybody. And for Vulture, we're going to use the ultimate that's going to take all of the evades off the other team. For Shocker, we're going to target that Nightcrawler and use the ultimate so we can do a nice turn meter rewind and make sure that the enemy is staying controlled. Green Goblin Classic's going to target the Forge and use the special that does a turn meter rewind on him and takes 1 life away from him. Gambit unfortunately does end up getting his ult off. That did flip some of our buffs into debuffs, however we're still in a fairly good position right now. Mysterio's back up, we're going to use the ultimate. That did also peel all the dodges off, so now when Kraven does the ultimate, that did the permakill to the Gambit. Vulture does the basic that takes out the second life of the Forge. Doc Ock uses the ultimate to extend those negative effects, and now we're going all in on the Nightcrawler. The Mysterio did end up using that special to get the ability block on the Nightcrawler as well. Vulture does the special. Green Goblin Classic uses the basic. And again, we're just trying to focus down this Nightcrawler. This is taking a few turns, but this was a pretty reliable one-shot for me. Vulture, we're using that basic into the Nightcrawler. Green Goblin Classic, we use the special, and that does end up killing the Nightcrawler. And now we're just going to go all in on the Rogue, and we're just going to put it on auto, and we get the win. For stage 4, we're going to use our Secret Defenders with Lizard. This should actually be a lot easier without the Spider-Man Noir and with them adding in that Captain Sam. Our Lizard will be going first here. We're going to use the ultimate to strip all the positive effects away. Ms. Marvel Harlight's up next. We're going to target the Peter B. Parker and use the ultimate for a nice turn meter rewind. And Black Cat's going to use the special on that Peter B. Parker to put the trauma stun on him. Ghost Rider Robbie's up next. We're going to end up targeting the Peter B. Parker and using that special to get bleeds on the Penny and the Pavitra. For Photon, we're going to target the Spider-Man Pavitra and use the special to put some blinds out there. The Ghost Rider Robbie passive goes off, and that does end up taking out that Spider-Man Pavitra, and the Captain America Sam is almost dead as well. Ghost Rider Robbie's back up. We're going to use that ultimate. That does end up taking out that Captain America Sam. Black Cat's going to use the ultimate on the Penny, and we have a very easy kill on the Ghost Spider. For stage 5, we're going to use our Cabal with Zemo and Doom into the Superior 6 with Black Knight. This is going to be a very tough one. The enemy Green Goblin Classic is going first here. He does end up doing that ultimate that does end up getting a turn meter rewind on us. Our Zemo's going to use the special to get the crit so we can get our turn meter going. However, the enemy Lizard ends up doing the ultimate to steal a lot of our buffs. The Kraven ends up doing the special to put the ability block on our Namor. And the Black Knight also does a special into our Namor. It's finally our turn, and our Iron Patriot's going to be using the special here. Namor's up. We end up targeting the Green Goblin Classic and doing the basic there. Leader's up. We're going to target the Black Knight and use the special. The main reason I ended up doing that is because he doesn't get a revive here, so I was trying to get rid of a lot of those retaliates. However, he did end up hanging on by a thread. Dr. Doom ends up doing the basic, and the retaliate did the permakill on our Dr. Doom. Green Goblin Classic ends up doing a turn meter rewind to our Namor, followed by Shocker doing the ultimate to turn rewind us. Unfortunately, this is going to have to be a sack, and we're going to have to come in here with a cleanup on this one. For the cleanup, I'm going to have to go in here with my Masters of Evil team. Now for stage 2, I initially planned to use Masters of Evil there, and for this room, I was initially planning to use my Cabal with Apocalypse. However, you saw how that failed, and that did end up costing me an additional hit into this defense. Titania will be going first here. We're going to target the enemy Green Goblin Classic, and we're going to use the special into him to try to take some of those buffs. Kang is up next. We're going to use the special into the Green Goblin Classic. For Moonstone, we're going to use the special into that Green Goblin Classic, and that does get the trauma stun on him. Ultron's up next. We're going to target the enemy Kraven and use the special. For Titania's turn, we're going to target Green Goblin Classic and use the ultimate. Titania's back up. We're going to target the Green Goblin Classic and use the basic. That did end up taking one of his lives away. Ultron's back up. We're going to use that ultimate into the Green Goblin Classic, and that did end up pushing him to where he got to use a special. Kang is up, and the passive does end up taking out the Green Goblin Classic. We end up targeting the enemy Kraven and use the ultimate. King is back up again. We're going to use the basic into the Craven. And that did take 1 life away from the enemy Craven. Moonstone does the basic on Craven, and that does end up killing him. Absorbing Man is up. We end up doing the special, so we can take all the negative effects and throw it back at the Doc Ock. Titania does the special on Doc Ock, and that takes 1 life off of him. And Lizard does end up killing our Absorbing Man. King does the basic on the Doc Ock. King is back up again. We end up doing the special on Doc Ock. And this is one of the mistakes I made in this match. I kept targeting the Doc Ock, which kept pushing him and ended up taking him back up to full health. So we're going to pivot over to the Lizard to take him out first. Titania does the ultimate on the Lizard. Moonstone's up, we do the ultimate on the Lizard. That does end up doing a turn meter rewind. King does the basic on Lizard, and we're basically just going to go all in on the Lizard. We do end up taking 1 life off of him. King does the basic again on the Lizard. Moonstone ends up doing the basic. King is back up, we do the ultimate. Titania does the basic, and now we're going to go all in on the Doc Ock to try to finish this up. For stage 6, we're just going to use our full New Warriors team in here. The placement that the opponent ended up putting down here actually has Thanos and Quicksilver adjacent to each other, so I have a very easy target on who I'm going to be going after and hopefully being able to rewind. Thanos will be going first here and does the basic on the Firestar, which they do end up dodging. Our Gwenpool's up next. We're going to target the Thanos and use the special. We unfortunately didn't get the immunity off of him, but we're still going to target him for Firestar's ultimate, so we can try to rewind that Quicksilver and Corvus. Thanos ends up doing the ultimate, we are able to dodge that. Deathpool is up next. We're going to target the enemy Quicksilver and use the special, so that way we can spread those negative effects from Quicksilver to Thanos. Cloak ends up doing the ultimate, that does end up taking out Corvus, and the Deathpool ping takes out Thanos. Dagger ends up doing the ultimate, and Deathpool basically cleans up the rest of the match. So I did unfortunately end up losing this matchup. My opponent, Iron Rolo, ended up getting a 49,362. I got a 49,342. So he got me by 20 points on the efficiency. Let's go ahead, check out the defenses, and see what ended up happening. For stage 1, I get an 83.59 with my Eternals Tangled Web combo into the Infinity Watch. That's about average. Sometimes I can get a little bit more points out of that, but that's usually what the Infinity Watch does. For stage 2, I got a 79.67. I had to go for it to see if I can actually get the one shot with the Masters of Evil in here, because if I did, I would have been able to use Apocalypse on that stage 5, and I should have been able to one shot all the rooms. For stage 3, I got an 83-51. This fight definitely took quite a bit of efficiency out of me. The goal of this one was hoping that I would be able to get the permakills with the Kraven ultimate. Instead, I only got the Gambit for the permakill on this one. For stage 4, I got an 83-62. This one wasn't too bad on the efficiency. The lizard play in here definitely helps for this one. For stage 5, I was pretty disappointed that the Cabal didn't work on this one, so I did have to use that Masters of Evil for the cleanup on here. This got me a 79-34, which really hurt my efficiency score. Stage 6 was a very quick one for me. I got an 83-69. Like I mentioned during the fight, putting Thanos and Quicksilver so close together definitely allows the new warriors for the counter on this one, so if you end up using this team, make sure to separate those two. As for my defenses, my opponent ended up using the Pegasus into the Infinity Watch. This got them the same score of an 83-59. For stage 2, they did a very similar team. They used Apocalypse with the same 3 Horsemen, but they used Emma Frost instead of Echo. This ended up getting them at 83-68. For stage 3, they used New Warriors first into my X-Men dorm team that ended up failing, so they ended up using Masters of Evil with North Star. This got them at 79-47. Stage 4 was the other room that they ended up dropping. They used Super Skrull Doom, Weaver Big Time Omega Red into my Unlimited X-Men with Guardian and Black Knight. They did end up wiping, then they end up coming in with Hive Mind to clean it up. This got them a 79-62. For stage 5, they end up using their Cabal with Zombie Juggernaut and Vulture into my Hive Mind Super Skrull Sasquatch team. This ended up getting them at 83-68. And for stage 6, they end up using Secret Defenders with Cosmic Ghost Rider into my Spider Society with Quicksilver. This ended up getting them at 83-58. Overall, I'm a little disappointed I didn't end up winning this one. I kind of figured after I dropped that second match that I was probably going to lose just based on efficiency alone. So I do want to congratulate you, Iron Rolo. I do hope that we get matched up again in the future. If not this season, then hopefully next season, because I really liked your defenses. We had a pretty good bout back and forth, so I would love to have that rematch with you. If all of you did end up liking this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel as we are pushing for that 1,000 subs. I'm really hoping to get that within the month. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.